Right before a disaster, the world changes, not in the sky, not in the news, not in your phone. It changes in the animals. Dogs start pacing, birds vanish, horses refuse to move, and cats do something worse. They stop, they stare, at a wall, at a corner, at nothing you can see, and then the glass trembles, the floor shifts, the earth breaks open like it was never solid to begin with. People call it instinct, but some witnesses swear it felt like warning, like the cat knew, like it was watching the future arrive, seconds before everyone else. Stay with me, because the final moment explains why people started believing cats can predict the future. Humans like to believe we're in control. We build walls, we build cities, we build schedules, but nature doesn't care about our plans. Earthquakes don't send invitations, storms don't wait for permission, and disasters almost always arrive silently first. A shift in pressure, a vibration too small to notice, a sound too deep for human ears. But animals notice, especially animals built for survival. Cats are not like dogs. Dogs look to humans for answers. Cats look through humans, as if they're listening to something underneath the world. And for centuries, people have told the same story. A cat that ran before the fire. A cat that screamed before the quake. A cat that refused to enter the house the night it collapsed. Are these just coincidences, or are cats reacting to signals we don't even know exist? Before we begin, tell me where you're listening from and what time it is there. And if you have a cat near you right now, watch what it does during this story, because you might never see it the same way again. This belief is older than science, older than seismographs, older than modern weather prediction. In ancient villages, people didn't have alarms, they had animals. When the animals acted strange, people listened, because ignoring that warning meant death. The first sign wasn't always shaking, sometimes it was silence. The birds stopped singing, the insects vanished, the dogs refused to sleep, and the cats, they would disappear, or they would cling to their humans, like they were trying to pull them away from something. Imagine a normal day, a kitchen, a cup of water on the table, a quiet apartment, a cat sitting near the window, nothing dramatic. Then the cat's ears tilt, not toward a sound, but toward the floor. The cat's eyes widen, it stands up, it stares at the wall like it's watching something move behind it. Then it runs, not playful, not curious, running like prey. A second later, the glass begins to shake, and then the entire world shifts. People describe earthquakes like the earth is angry, but the truth is worse. It feels like the ground becomes liquid, and the cat was already gone. This is where the mystery gets real. Because cats have senses, humans don't. Cats can hear higher frequencies than we can. They detect tiny vibrations through their paws. Their whiskers are not decoration, they are sensors. They measure airflow, they read changes in space, and their inner ear is built for balance in motion. So when the earth begins to change, cats may detect the warning first, not because of magic, because their bodies are built like instruments. And the world is always playing signals. We just don't hear them. Not all disasters are earthquakes. Some are storms, tornadoes, hurricanes, flash floods. And before those arrive, the air changes. Pressure drops. Humidity shifts. Static builds. Humans might feel off. A headache, anxiety, restlessness. Cats often react before that. They hide, they press low to the ground, they stare out windows like they're watching something approach from beyond the horizon. Because storms don't begin in the sky, they begin in physics. And cats live closer to physics than we do. Witnesses describe similar cat behaviors before disasters. Sudden hiding in unusual places, loud vocalization at night, running in circles, frantic and confused, refusing to enter certain rooms, staring intensely at walls or floors, clinging to a person unusually affectionate, sudden aggression or fear with no visible cause. Individually, these behaviors mean nothing. Cats are weird. Cats do strange things every day. But when thousands of people report the same pattern, before the same kind of event, the pattern starts to feel like a signal, because believing animals predict disasters means admitting we are not the smartest species in the room. It means admitting we are blind to part of reality. Cats don't explain themselves. They don't warn you politely. They don't point to the door. They just act. And if you don't understand, that's your problem. Cats survive because they react. Humans survive because they rationalize. And rationalizing can be fatal. This is why cats became linked to prophecy. In folklore, cats are guardians of thresholds, between life and death, between inside and outside, between the seen and unseen. So when cats act strange, people don't think biology. They think omens. A cat fleeing a house feels like a message. A cat refusing food feels like a warning. A cat staring at the corner feels like it sees something coming. And sometimes it does. Not because it knows the future, but because it knows the present better than we do. Here's the darkest part. Sometimes the cat warns and nobody listens. The family laughs. The neighbors ignore it. They call the cat dramatic. They call it silly. Then the earthquake hits. Then the flood arrives. Then the fire spreads. And afterward, people remember the cat, not as a pet, but as the only creature in the room that tried to tell them. That's how legends begin, not from miracles, from regret. Researchers have explored animal behavior before earthquakes for decades. There are reports of unusual activity in many species: dogs barking, birds leaving nesting areas, snakes surfacing from underground. The scientific challenge is proving causation. Animals behave strangely for many reasons, and disasters are rare enough that data is hard to collect. But some scientists suggest possible explanations: sensitivity to micro-vibrations, P-waves, before stronger shaking, changes in electromagnetic fields, gas release from stressed rock, pressure and humidity changes before storms, heightened sensory awareness and survival instincts. So the question isn't, can animals predict disasters like prophets? The question is, are animals reading signals humans can't detect? And if they are, cats may be among the best at it. Because cats are built to survive invisible danger. They are living detectors. Now we reach the final moment. The reason people started believing cats can predict the future. There's a story that appears in different countries, different languages, different decades. A cat is in a building, a home, a hospital, a school. Everything is normal. Then the cat walks to the door and sits, not sleeping, not relaxed, watching, like it's waiting for something. Someone tries to move it. The cat refuses. Someone picks it up. It fights to get back down. It runs, and it doesn't stop running. Minutes later, the disaster hits, and the building collapses. People survive because they followed the cat, not because they understood why, because in that moment, instinct trusted instinct. And after Kern, nobody could explain it, so they called it prophecy. They called it fate. They called it the cat seeing the future. But maybe the cat didn't see the future. Maybe it heard the earth shifting, like a giant creature waking up under our feet, and the cat, being what it has always been, a survivor, simply decided to leave first. And that's the real horror. Not that cats can predict disasters, but that the world is always warning us, and we're too loud to notice. In the next video, we're going deeper, Because some cats don't warn you about earthquakes. They warn you about something else. Something that doesn't shake the ground, but still makes people disappear. Stay with me.